Welcome to Optimum Health Solutions. I'm your host, OJ Odia. Today, we are going to talk about surrogacy. You may wonder what surrogacy means in this context, but to be broken down for us to understand. I have with me here is Professor John Ikimalo. Professor John Ikimalo is consultant obstetrician gynecologist. Now, Prof, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And let's start by asking the question, what is surrogacy?
Surrogacy is a situation in which a woman carries a pregnancy and delivers the baby for another couple or woman who otherwise could not use her own womb to carry a pregnancy. So it can be described as like renting a womb, to carry the pregnancy and deliver the baby.
So why do have surrogacy in the first place? Or is it that women will require a surrogate mother for their babies?
The reason why women will have surrogates mothers is because they have problems with their own womb. And these problems can be that they don't have a womb at all, or they have had surgeries in which the womb was removed. If they had a ruptured uterus, maybe the womb tore during previous pregnancy, and then you had to remove the womb to save their life. But they won't have a womb, in which case they can now have to rent another woman's womb. The other situation in which you can have surrogacy is if the womb is damaged from either previous surgeries, like repeated G&Cs, and the inner lining of the womb is gummed together. We'll try to separate them if it doesn't. Or sometimes when the women have recurrent miscarriages, all the time they're having miscarriages, or the womb has developed, didn't develop well, and the womb is smaller than expected. Or sometimes if the woman is so ill, has medical conditions that cannot allow her to carry a pregnancy, or then sometimes the womb itself is having some diseases like tuberculosis. If the womb has tuberculosis or serious infections in which the womb itself is damaged.
So, okay. Now, what are the types of surrogacy? Are there the various factors of surrogacy?
Yeah. Basically, there are two types of surrogacy. And one is traditional surrogacy, in which the egg that is used is that of the surrogate mother, that is the woman carrying the pregnancy. In that case, she has a part of her gene is in that pregnancy, in that baby. And then the other type of surrogacy is a gestational surrogacy, or what we call full surrogacy. In that one, the woman has no genetic material in the surrogates. The egg is gotten from another woman, and then the sperm will be from the commissioning parents, the man, and then the embryo is now put in a different woman. This is the surrogates. That is the gestational, the global lesson first. Again, within the surrogate themselves, there are two types. There are surrogates that are the purpose of being a surrogate is because he wants commercial gain. And then also there is the other type in which you don't want financial gain, but you just want to help somebody. We call it altruistic surrogacy.
That's right. So, if a woman wants to have another woman carry the baby for 9 months, it means that it's like a once in a lifetime chance, because in a lot of people to repeat that surrogacy again. The first one to repeat, but because of the expense and so on, may want to have just one shot of surrogacy. Can the woman also select the sex of the baby?
Yes, in IVF, generally, whether it's for surrogacy or for IVF, sex selection is possible because when you get the egg and you get the sperm and you mix them together and get an embryo, what we do now is to take a sample of that embryo and then analyze it to find out whether it's a male or female. So you can use that to do sex selections.
So one can know at the end that early stage.
Yeah,
male.
Yeah. We call it pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. So, okay.
So now, what can go wrong? I know sometimes we don't want to have the negative. What are the medical, legal, ethical issues that can occur in surrogacy that the outcome may not be as expected?
Well, the surrogacy has a lot of ethical issues. And that is why it is not necessarily in the purview of the doctors alone. Because for you to get a surrogate, we always like the commissioning couple. That is the couple that have the problem of infertility and problems with the womb to actually look for their own surrogates. So they can get the surrogate through an agency, or they can get the surrogate through, relations, friends, or somebody who really just want to help. And then, if that happens, we also like them to pass through the lawyer. So it is the lawyers that will draw up the agreement and, put all the conditions. And some of these conditions, like you said, unexpected conditions. Surrogates can have a miscarriage like any other patient can have a surrogate. And then during pregnancy, all the issues that you have in a pregnant woman can also, befell a surrogate mother. And this includes things like hypertension. If the patients now, by the way, sometimes we put one embryo and that embryo can divide. So the possibility of twins, even though it's one embryo, must be told to the surrogate. And then also, apart from miscarriages, all the medical disorders that you have in pregnancy can occur. Some anticipated, some are not anticipated. And then when it comes to delivery, you may probably end up not having a vaginal delivery, but a cesarean section. And then also all these issues are supposed to be discussed. There are some other issues. For instance, a couple can be married and within this 9 months of a surrogate carrying their pregnancy, they decide to separate, go their ways. These are all some of the issues that we find, which the lawyers will try and sort out.
So when the surrogate goes to court, for example, and let's claim to the baby, for the parent, she carried the baby for 9 months. She can two
Well, you see, that is an area which, like I said, since it is a lawyers that will take care of such things, in the field of assisted reproductive technology, what we do is just to get the pregnancy, get the surrogate. Even the looking after the pregnancy itself can be by any other obstetrician and gynecologist or any other person. And what happens thereafter really doesn't. Yes, we don't like getting involved in all that. But to avoid that, when somebody comes with a surrogate that I have commissioned this woman to carry this pregnancy for me, we also have some responsibility to assess that surrogate physically, medically, and psychologically. So be sure that the person is psychologically stable, not to change their minds, and so that all these issues can be minimized.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. I think that we're almost there. Just one last request. Can you give advice to potential That first to the surrogates and then to the expectant couple?
Well, to the surrogates, my advice to the surrogates is one way you need to know exactly what your purpose is. Are you going to help your friend, sister, or brother or relation? In which case there is no financial gain. Even though with that, there are some, incidental expenses, your transport and all that can be sorted out.
Yes.
Or are you doing a commercial surrogacy, in which case you have a project and then you want, big money to execute that project, in addition to the fact that you want to help a woman who cannot carry a pregnancy. So if you have that at the back of your mind, then you should also go into a good legal system and be optimistic that everything will go well.
Or not well.
And then, at the end of the day, you should feel happy that you've achieved your aim, be it for commercial or altruistic. Then for the commissioning couple or parents, would they need to look after the surrogates very well? Because sometimes, it's like a business. It is much more beyond a business because there's a psychological overlay.
Yeah.
And so they should treat the surrogates very well. Because sometimes we'll find problems with them treating them because the surrogates sometimes want to be anonymous. They want to be away from family and people like that. And then, so they really need to try as much as possible to satisfy their needs within these periods that they have the contract. Again, for the surrogate, we like surrogates that have had children before. Also, some of the things we make sure they do is that if they are married or they have children already, the husband is involved, their children know what they want to do. If they are not married, usually we get single girls who have had a child. If not, but we must get a very close relation to be involved in the knowledge of what
they are doing. Yes, sir. So thank you very much indeed, Professor Ikimalo, and I think that this is the place to stop for now. And we hope that you have understood surrogacy in this context, and hopefully the topic is clearer to you now. Thank you very much for watching this Optimum Health Solutions. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, and bye for now.